From Leroy Gibbs' jaw-dropping murder confession to Clayton Reeves' risky secret from the team. These are the worst things NCIS characters have ever done. NCIS has delivered some of the best moments on TV, but some of its main characters aren't the most likable people around, and Gibbs' jaw-dropping murder confession totally changed his image in front of fans. Remember our tough and gruff team commander with a heart of gold? Well, turns out he's got a dark and troubled past that'll make you see him in a whole new light, and his backstory is pretty intense, because apparently Gibbs used to have a loving family with a wife named Shannon and a daughter named Kelly. One day, Shannon witnessed the death of a Marine and was going to testify against his killer in court. But tragedy struck hard when the cartel member named Pedro Hernandez took their lives. So you can't blame Gibbs for being shattered by the loss. But that's where things take a darker turn. Because fueled by grief and anger, Gibbs took justice into his own hands. He hunted down Hernandez and got his revenge with a brutal execution. And coming from the man who always stays on the right side of the law, this massive revelation completely changed his story. After all, even though fans felt that the revenge was justified, it was also a major mistake, especially for a seasoned military and law enforcement veteran. And he realized that, which is why Gibbs kept this dark secret locked away for years, not even letting his NCIS team in on it. Fans had to wait 3 whole seasons to find out about Shannon and Kelly, and the truth about Hernandez's fate didn't surface until a dramatic 2-part season finale, when Abby accidentally stumbled upon Gibbs' secret. But the NCIS writers love gray characters, and nothing gets more complex than Jenny Shepard. This former NCIS director is probably one of the most controversial characters to ever enter the show, and she's had a wild journey with the team. It all started with her tireless pursuit of revenge against arms dealer Rene Benoit, the man she blamed for her father's assassination. She was so laser-focused on this vendetta that she was willing to sacrifice her relationship with Gibbs, the man she loved deeply, just to climb the ranks and achieve her goal. And as a longtime supporter of the couple, I didn't expect to hate her that quickly. I'm not the only one who was tired of her behavior either, because fans weren't happy with Jenny's character development and didn't hold back their opinions, calling her self-centered for getting involved in office politics, and even throwing the team under the bus when it suited her. The whole Agrino storyline became a sore point for many fans, and it felt like Jenny couldn't stop saying those 2 words. The plot got old real fast, so when she did finally get her revenge by murdering a defenseless Benoit, fans were just glad that it was over. But the backlash from her decision was bad, and it destroyed her relationship with the team. Love her or hate her though, there's no denying she left a lasting impact on the NCIS team and the series, and she isn't the only team member with bad character development, because Tony DiNazzo makes fans question his morals all the time. I'd suggest buckling up, because this character has had his fair share of cringe-worthy moments. We all know Tony is a charming guy, but sometimes he does take it a step too far, especially when it comes to women. Don't believe me. In Season 2's forced entry, Tony's on a case at a base hospital, but instead of focusing on the suspect, he couldn't help but hit on the lieutenant at the desk. Priorities, am I right? But things get super awkward when she shuts him down by showing her engagement ring. So you'd think that would give him a hint? Well, nope. Tony still doesn't give up and keeps pushing, suggesting she's having second thoughts about getting married. And let's not forget the cringe fest in Mind Games, when Tony thinks it's a good idea to mess with a female colleague's birth control pills, where he holds them up like she's a child and asks her who she's seeing if she's taking them. But the ultimate facepalm moment comes in the episode Bikini Wax, where Tony ends up at Rod's Tiki Tavern and gets completely wasted. But it gets worse when he comes across the Wet T-Shirt Hall of Fame and finds a picture of Kate from years ago. Rather than respecting her privacy though, he keeps a copy of the photo and later uses it to play a prank on her. Sure, his character improved eventually, but it's not the first time the writers have messed up a plot. I mean, just look at Leon Vance. His fiery feud with Gibbs had fans confused the entire time about whom to support. To give you a little context, when Vance took over as director after Jenny Shepard's tragic death, Gibbs wasn't thrilled. The no-nonsense agent didn't have time for dealing with team politics, and Vance rubbed him the wrong way from the start. But the tension only escalated further when Vance assigned Gibbs a new team, making our favorite agent suspicious. That said, the new boss then pulled the mother of all plot twists when he revealed it was all a ruse to expose a mole. Sneaky, right? But despite the clever plan, Gibbs still didn't fully trust Vance, and their tensions reached a peak in the season 6 finale. Alia, when Gibbs directly accused Vance of betraying the team to Mossad boss Eli David, who happened to be none other than Ziva's father. Gibbs believed his close relationship with David was causing trouble and endangering the agency, but Vance wasn't backing down easy either. He claimed that Ziva is a Mossad plant, and that Gibbs' affection for her is compromising national security. Low blow. See, if there's one thing Leroy doesn't mess around about, it's respecting his team. And with that statement, Leon dug his own grave. So it's safe to say the fans jumped on the hate train real quick. But the thing was, his comment about Ziva was completely out of character for him. And that's something even the showrunners realized. But I guess it's just another day of weak plot lines from them. And while it's something fans have come to expect, nothing could prepare them for the bombshell discovery of Ducky's past. Dr. Donald Mallard had become a fan favorite over the years, but in Season 6, a routine murder case took an unexpected turn when Ducky himself became the victim. While investigating a crime scene, and a mysterious woman attacked Ducky yelling, "You killed my brother." And when the team revealed the woman's identity as Mosuma Deo, a florist with a personal vendetta against Ducky, things got even more complicated. But after a quick deep dive, the team found out that he had a dark past during his time with the Royal Army Medical Corps. Back when he was in Afghanistan, he had to deal with a fellow doctor called Dr. Payne, who brutally tortured Masuma's brother, Javed. And Ducky was left with the task of stitching Javed up after the torture, but with Masuma accusing him of war crimes at the Afghanistan embassy, there was a lot more to the story. And for the guilt-ridden doctor, well, he was ready to turn himself in before Gibbs swooped in just in time to stop him. Abby and Agent McGee track down Dr. Payne, and in a chilling confrontation, he justifies his actions. But that's when the truth surfaces, because Ducky showed mercy to the suffering man by giving him enough morphine to pass away peacefully. Talk about a roller coaster. Keeping things on the down low never works out well for the team. And Clayton Reeves' risky secret from NCIS could have exposed them big time. Now, Reeves might not have been on NCIS for too long. He definitely did his fair share of damage in the 2017 episode, Fake It Till You Make It. Picture this, a recovering alcoholic, a former Mu-16 agent, and a member of the NCIS International Desk. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? During this episode, Reeves finds himself in a sticky situation when a friend from his AA meetings gets abducted, but instead of coming clean about his connection to the victim, he keeps it under wraps. And let's just say it was a huge mistake. His co-workers, Nicholas Torres and Timothy McGee, start poking around, and eventually, he has no choice but to spill the beans. We know that Reeves had his fair share of struggles, having seen some dark stuff during his time as an undercover agent for M16. Those experiences likely played a part in his battles with substance abuse. But hiding the fact that he was a recovering alcoholic left him vulnerable to potential blackmail, which could have resulted in disaster for him and his fellow team members. So he was lucky to get off easy that time. And there you have it. From Clayton Reeves' risky secret from the team to Leroy Gibbs' jaw-dropping murder confession, those were the worst things NCIS characters have ever done